Hey guys, what's going on? It's Charles Ngo. Right now I'm in San Diego for the A4D meetup. I am here and I bumped into my good friend Tuan Vy.
What's up, everybody?
I saw him. I talked to him and do a quick interview because you guys love my interviews. Yeah, you guys love my interviews, and I'm going to try to get his story out of him, introduce you guys to him, and maybe get some really good tips for you guys. So, all right, let's start. All right, Tuan. So I've known you for a few years now, but not everyone knows who you are. So could you give a brief introduction, how long you've been in the space, and what do you do?
Well, first off, man, it's good to see you again. It's been a while since we've seen each other. First off, man, my name is Tuan Vy. I've been in this space for several years. Kind of like an underground kind of guy, underground super affiliate. A lot of people do know me in the last few years because I created workshops, courses, and products, and started an affiliate network and stuff like that, and been in different places and met a lot of you guys at different conventions. So a lot of people know me now, but I've been in the space for a while, man. Affiliate marketing, internet marketing.
For a while, how long, roughly?
About 7 years.
7 years. So you're like an OG in this space.
Kind of. Yeah, you could probably say that. Been around for a while.
I think 7 years is an OG in this space because people are turning around all the time.
When I first started, it felt like I was just missing
the train.
Yeah, I just missed the train because at that time it was like acai berry, teeth whitening. I felt like I kind of missed that phase,
Dude, I thought the same thing, except I started a little bit before you, and I thought I missed the .com boom.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's ironic is right now it's 2016, so everyone's thinking, oh, it's too late to make money. Right. But guess what? In 2020, everyone's going to be like, shit, I wish I started in 2016.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So luckily, I didn't miss the train. We didn't miss the train. We got in and, so that's what I've done for the last several years, just paid advertising, media buying, affiliate marketing, internet marketing.
It's kind of funny. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago.
Right.
The next best time is now.
Yes.
So, all right, Tuan, you kind of got a reputation in space. You're, some good, maybe a little bad, but
pull it all out
the main reputation is you're the adult guy. You're extremely, out of all the name brand affiliates out there, you're the one most associated with adult. So I guess I want to know, what is about adult? How'd you get into it? Do you have a passion for adult, or was it about adult, and how are you branded like that?
Good question, and it's true. A lot of people know me for adult media buying or adult CPA marketing. There's kind of like two different types of adult people. There's the hardcore adult webmaster, who films pornography.
The guys that have the ponytails, right?
Yeah, the old guy, the guy with the ponytail. I'm not that guy. I'm more like just a media buyer. I got into the adult space because it's one of those verticals that it's like an immortal niche, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be there.
Evergreen.
There's always going to be someone that's coming of age, someone's getting divorced, someone wants to hook up, get a new girlfriend. So there's always going to be a potential customer in that niche. And the only reason I'm in it...
Do you know what percentage traffic adult is? Is it like 30% or something?
It's huge. I know, there's a ton of volume, a ton of traffic in adult space, So those two different types of people, I'm not the guy with the ponytail. I'm just, your typical affiliate marketer looking to promote something that converts, and obviously that space, those type of offers convert. Really
so let me just get this straight. You're not passionate about adult space. It's just a way for you to make money.
I'm passionate to the extent as in it's a fun niche. It's a fun niche. The people in it are cool. The traffic sources, the reps, everybody's pretty laid back and cool. So I'm passionate about that in that regards because it's just cool people to work with. But if you're talking about just because it's an adult space, I can care less, and I probably hate it. Some people out there probably don't want me to say that, but it's just one of those things. I operate in a lot of different niches. Adult's the one that I kind of planted the flag on, and a lot of people know me for that one.
Because you got to focus.
Yeah, you got to focus. And in the space, it can go both ways. It's kind of a good thing that people know me for that. At the same time, it could be a bad thing. But
people kind of put you in a box.
They put you in a box. You can pigeonhole yourself. A lot of people think that I strictly do adult, and that's all I do. But honestly, I operate in pretty much every single vertical that everyone else operates in. Mobile, the trial space, obviously adult. There's just a ton of different things I do, but obviously a lot of people know me for adult.
All right. So next question is in regards to adult. Well, we both know that 2012 was like the big boom period. Like I did adult, a lot of people did adult. It was absolutely huge with that whole 3 questions lander.
Yeah.
Good old 3 questions lander.
The rules.
So my question is, now it's 2016. I got a few questions. A, are people still making money in adult? Because look, in 2012, everyone went to adult, but a lot of people moved on. They moved on to mobile, they moved on to Facebook, they moved on to native ads. So are people still making money in adult? And second question is, if someone is brand new to affiliate marketing, would you recommend they trial adult? Like, can a newbie still make money in adult, or has it become too saturated?
The way I look at, and those are really good questions, the way I look at it is this. Back in 2012, 2013, there was a huge buzz about adult. There was a lot of affiliate marketers who were just jumping onto that whole adult kind of, that bandwagon, because it was an unknown space. There was a lot of money being made. There was a lot of access to traffic. So the way I see it is the affiliate marketing space is kind of like a herd mentality. A lot of people jump onto one thing, they'll do that for a while, and then they hear everyone else is doing mobile, or they're doing native ads, and they'll just kind of shift to that and then shift to that. So it's kind of like a herd, people moving from one thing to the next. And right now native ads and Facebook and stuff like that's popular, but a few years later everyone's going to move to whatever that may be, something else. The way I look at adult is this. Back in 2012, like I said, it was brand new, it was hot, a lot of people were making a lot of money. What ultimately happened during that time is that niche became highly competitive. It became ultra saturated. Prices on traffic was going up because people were competitively bidding against each other, and there was bidding wars and stuff like that. What ended up happening is, fast forward to now, a lot of people who got into that space found out that they couldn't sustain in that space because it was too competitive, they couldn't get to work, they went on and moved on to different horizons. The way I look at things now is there's still a lot of opportunity in that space, obviously, because it's one of those evergreen niches. There's always going to be a way to make money in that space. But like anything else, you have to be focused. You have to have actual skill sets and systems and processes in place to get your campaigns to be profitable. It doesn't matter if it's adult, it doesn't matter if it's skincare, it doesn't matter if it's mobile, sweepstakes, whatever it is, you're going to have to dial it in. You're going to have to figure it out. So to jump around from one thing to the next, that's not going to help you any more than, just focusing on something, just putting all your energy into one thing. Now, nowadays, 2016, adult is, I would say, becoming less saturated, because a lot of people figured that they couldn't get it to work and they moved on to do other things. This is just me being honest. I've seen bid prices go down. I've seen people who weren't profitable in the last year actually become profitable and generate some ROI. It's still one of those niches that is, there's not a lot of innovation going on. It's a lot of copying and swiping and repeating the same things that people seen 2 or 3 years ago. I think the people that are making headway in the space are those who are slightly innovating and trying different angles and stuff like that. So in regards to somebody coming in and in 2016 or 2017 and trying to jump into the adult space and trying to make money, the way I see it is this. I think anybody who's new to any niche needs to jump in and promote something that has a low payout offer. Okay, something that's in the vicinity of $3, $4, $5, under $10 range. Jumping in and trying to promote a trial offer that pays you $30, $40, $50 per conversion, it's going to require a larger budget. It's going to require a lot of testing. It's going to require you to have a lot more skill sets compared to promoting something that has a smaller payout. Because when you have something with a smaller payout, even though you don't become profitable, but you see conversions, somehow seeing those conversions boosts your momentum. It motivates you to continue and grow your campaigns, and ultimately, if you stay in that space, or that vertical or not, but it just gives you that feeling of, okay, this is possible, this is working, and just seeing those conversions, even though you're not profitable, can be the difference between you starting affiliate marketing and sticking with it, or starting affiliate marketing and just giving it up. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, does that make sense to you, Charles, kind of?
Damn, Tuan, you went ham on that answer.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
So the thing is...
Okay, so let me ask you a question on one thing. So, all right, so there's a lot of adult affiliates, and the main issue I have with adult niche is there's a lot of copying. As soon as you innovate, exactly, someone jacks your landing pages. So what would you say separates the top adult affiliates from the low-level ones? Like, what competitive edges are you talking about? Is it the offers, optimization strategies? What have you seen? Because it's obviously not the darn landing page.
Yeah, it's obviously not the same, rules, multiple survey type question type landing page, because that's been done to death. And it's been done for, it still works, don't get me wrong. It's still a very powerful method of converting people. But I think what's going to separate someone that's just starting out to making it work, to actually make it work, obviously you're going to rip stuff. People are going to copy your stuff. You're going to copy other people's stuff. And you're going to try to run the same stuff. and make money off it, and it's probably not going to work out because you're missing a few different variables. I think the most important thing in the space is going to be relationships, okay? Whether that be relationships with your traffic source, whether that be relationships with...
So what does the relationship mean? Cheaper traffic costs, higher payouts? What does a good relationship end up with?
I think the good relationship would end up with being hooked up, as in, someone will give you a better payout on that offer, give you an exclusive offer, somebody will give you a better placement or give you a better rate on that placement. It's those little things, and it could be just one little thing, whether that be cheaper traffic or a higher payout, that could be the make or break, the difference between, making that money or
a lot of my guys, I know what they're thinking. They're thinking, Tuan, you've been doing this forever, you got those relationships because it's such a long time, but some of them are newer, they're thinking they're at disadvantage. So what tips do you have for someone that's brand new to rapidly build a relationship?
To rapidly build a relationship, I think you have to really put yourself on the map, okay? If you're running with a network or you're running direct to advertiser, they're not going to pay you any mind. They're not going to see, they're not even going to notice you because there's thousands of affiliates out there. Put yourself on the map first. Drive some leads, drive some sales, increase some volume. Put yourself on the network's map. Make that spike happen where they have to reach out to you and say, oh my God, this guy just sent 1,000 leads and the quality's good. We need to reach out to him. We need to keep him running.
What would you say about the social aspect, like meeting them, talking on the phone, going to conferences? Does that help?
I think it's crucial. I think you have to go to conferences nowadays. You got to understand these account reps.
Dude, that's why we're here. That's why we're at A4D. Shit.
I'm here too. So,
still doing it.
You got to imagine this, man. When you're on Skype, when you're talking to like an account manager, affiliate manager, traffic rep, whatever, and you're talking to them on Skype, you can be nice, you can be, you can be funny, you can try to engage with that person. But there's hundreds of other people doing the same thing every single day.
Yep.
So to meet someone in person, shake their hand, take them out to lunch, have a drink, it changes the dynamics there.
I see.
You know what I mean? And
I feel a lot of affiliates are just uncomfortable with that because a lot of affiliates they're
a lot of
dude, it's like half of them they got Asperger's or some shit. Like they just don't know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next thing. So one more question about adult. Someone starting off, name 2 kind of go-to traffic sources for newbies.
For newbies.
For newbies.
Obviously, for newbies, you're going to obviously want to start with a self-serve platform. Okay, everybody knows what self-serve is. You load up your funds. There's a minimum deposit. You don't have to commit thousands of dollars to an assertion order. You put a little bit of deposit in that account. You start campaigns. You stop campaigns. You activate. You upload banners. You do everything yourself. That's why it's called self-serve. Yeah, I think that's the best place to start because of those examples there. You don't have to interact with anybody, and you don't have to commit so much money up front. The 2 go-to places are obviously going to be the well-known places, Traffic Junkie, ExoClick. I'll give you some advice about those, okay? Your goal there is not to get profitable. While you can get profitable on those spots, your goal there is to just get things going, see if the campaign actually works, see if your banners and the offer converts. Just to see, I use it as a testing ground. Just a place to launch campaigns to see if they work. Do you know that some of the placements on Traffic Junkie, you can actually go and get the same placements elsewhere from other traffic networks, but it'll still be on the same placements. And you can probably find the same placement, like let's say Pornhub or something like that. You can find that placement elsewhere.
So you're saying start with self-serve, use it as a testing ground just for spying, and then the money's in going direct.
Yeah, I mean, you can have stuff profitable there. It's going to be a lot lower margin because obviously the bids are going to change up and down every day. There's going to be competition. One day you might get a lot of traffic. Next day you're wondering why your campaign doesn't get any traffic, so you're increasing bids, and then, et cetera, et cetera. You're always battling somebody else because they're just jumping in and out.
It's a bloodbath, man.
It is.
It's like X videos, dude. It's a fucking bloodbath.
Yeah, it is.
I have nightmares.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I do. Go to those places, check them out. There's a ton of different self-serve networks popping up. Here's the thing that could be the difference between you making it or not, okay? Like I said, I use those platforms as a testing ground to just launch campaigns, get some leads, see if the funnel actually is proven and it actually converts and works. Then I try to find a different traffic network that offers those same placements for either the same price, a cheaper price, or if it's more expensive, at least they may be able to give you better targeting. And that better targeting that they offer, even though they charge more for advertising, might be the make or break, might be the difference because let's say you're running a campaign and you realize, Android doesn't convert, but iOS does. But on Traffic Junkie, you can't segment that.
Speaking of targeting, one thing that's the biggest problem with dating is quality leads. Yeah. So that's a big deal because a lot of these places, they got some really shit traffic. So what's 2 tips you can give my readers as far as how do they
Improve the quality.
improve the quality? Okay, guys, if you improve the quality of your leads,
right.
then what happens? You get higher payouts. The advertisers like you more. That gives you a competitive edge. So I know how to do it. All right, I want to know your way, and then I'll give you guys some tips.
So here's some tips. Okay, so you got to understand what are the reasons why you want to have better quality. For one, you only need one good offer. In this game, if you can find one advertiser with one solid offer, you can make millions of dollars with that one offer. Why would you want to jeopardize that one offer, that potential $1 million with that advertiser over a few $100s because you want to make profit immediately? Okay, so the goal is to get a higher quality because it backs out for them. They can afford to pay you a higher rate per lead or per sale. And another thing is to get you more volume. You can run unlimited versus, they're capping you at 100 leads, 200 leads a day. The best way to get better quality is, for one, especially with dating, okay, and lead gen in particular, okay. A lot of people want to make money right off the bat. I suggest you don't think about it like that. Think about a long-term strategy here. If you're to lose money the first week, break even the second week, make money the third week because you had better quality and you got a better pay bump, do that versus making profit day one and then a week later you're booted off offer and you don't even have that offer no more and you're starting off over again with another advertiser and you're trying to do that whole thing over and over again. The best way to get quality is this. For dating, avoid run a network. Run a network is basically, you sign up to a traffic network and you place a 300 by 250 banner on a site, but they display your banner or your ad placement on thousands of different publisher sites, right? So here's the theory behind why it's bad quality. 100 leads. You tell me what's better. One site with 100 leads from that one site or one lead from 100 different sites?
Well, it depends. It depends what the site is because there's some shitty sites.
Yeah, but and that's what it is. Typically, out of those 100 sites across the network, there's going to be a bunch of shitty sites, okay? And a better gauge of quality is finding one premium placement, one site that has good quality of traffic, of visitors, and getting a set amount of leads, a data sample, a good data sample from that. That's how you're going to get better quality versus, spreading out one lead across 100 sites.
What do you have to say about the ages?
And the ages, okay, so look at it like this. Obviously, somebody who's younger, a younger demographic, let's say 18, 21, they probably aren't established yet. They probably don't really have credit cards, credits, banks, and money, and a good job.
Because these are leads. So they sign up for a lead. How the advertiser makes money is this person upgrades to a $30 a month membership. Yeah. That's how they make money. So if you send 1,000 leads, they pay $5 each, and none of them upgrade.
That's right.
You get kicked off.
And that's why they boot you off the offer, because all those free joins didn't equate to any paid sales. Now here's the thing is, most people don't understand that this is what's happening. They think, oh, I should get paid X amount per lead. I'm sending all this volume, but
they get their feelings hurt when the affiliate manager's like, yo, we got to pause you. Your qualities are low. Dude, they start flipping out, man.
Yeah, and it's because if I was an advertiser and I was paying someone out for free joins, and none of those were converting to sales, I would be like, can this guy immediately.
The perfect campaign is one where everyone wins. You make money, advertiser makes money, traffic source makes money, and the customer wins. Like, what if this customer finds his dream girl finds that hot MILF on one of these websites? So, all right, guys. Quality is important. Okay.
Another tip real quick for quality, okay? Like I said, you're going to have to target a higher demographic, okay? 24-8.
An older demographic.
Yeah, older demographic, which typically means if you're in the dating space or if you're in the adult space, I'll give you a tip. Target, you don't want to promote something that's like towards a younger demographic. You want to promote an offer, let's say it's the MILF niche. The MILF niche is probably one of the most searched terms on any large adult site. There's a lot of MILF offers, MILF-related offers. If you guys don't know what a MILF is, you guys can Google it, okay? Basically, it's an older lady, okay? And people who want older ladies are typically older men looking for someone in their age group.
I know, man. I know when I was 15, dude.
But you know what I mean? But usually, if you promote a MILF offer, you're going to have a better chance of having better quality backing out. Another thing is pass source IDs, okay? It's just a simple little string of code that you pass in your tracking link that gets passed to the network or passed to the advertiser.
That identifies a traffic source, but don't say TJ.
Yeah,
don't say EXO. Just use a number code like 1, 2, 3, 4. That way they could say, hey, traffic source 3 sucks. Cut it. But if you say traffic source, traffic junkie works, Well, some of these guys, they got their own internal media buyers. So then you're passing them data to use against you. So be very careful with that.
Encrypt it, and have your little notepad that you can cross-reference and know what that encryption means. When they tell you to pause the source or to increase the source. See, most people think it's just for being optimized off an offer, but actually it can help you get a better pay bump because they might see a source that works really well for them, and they say, you know what, send more of this traffic, and we'll give you a pay bump.
Yeah, and I guess one more tip, because I don't do the adult anymore, so I can give this tip out is. Everyone does the 3 questions, right? Mm-hmm. One of the questions is, how old are you? So you can kind of segment the traffic, where the 18 to 25-year-olds, you send them to the shitty offers, and the really good quality traffic, 35 and over, you keep it for the good stuff. So that's kind of advanced segmentation. The coding, go to Fiverr, go to Odesk, or go to Traffic Junkie and rip someone's page. But yeah, that's an advanced trick. Okay, so enough with the adult talk. So next question is, so something else you're well known for is Smash revenue. So you were with that for a few years. Yeah, so my question is, Smash had some issues, but you weren't part of Smash. You were part of Smash for a few years, then you left.
That's right.
So it's a kind of like a 2-part question here. First one is, why did you leave Smash revenue? Because you were a 50-50 partner. Mm-hmm. And the second part is, I guess, on a very high level, we don't need the details, but what happened? Why is it not working anymore?
Yeah, I think, we started Smash revenue with a partner of mine about, it's been, 3 years now. It's been some time has elapsed since then. But when we first started it, it was kind of like a venture. I didn't have any experience as a network owner, operating a network or anything like that. It was a brand new venture, new project.
Let's zoom out. You're an affiliate.
Yep.
Why start an affiliate network with someone? Like, there's a lot of shit you can do. Why do an affiliate network?
Good question. I think at that time I was just a media buyer. I was just running my own campaigns. During the whole process of running ads and being a media buyer, I was at that time I was still reaching out and helping a lot of people. I was giving coaching to people. I was training a couple people, just helping friends and stuff like that. The weird thing was, when I was helping them, eventually got to the point where it's like, hey, Tuan, where do I get offers from? And I would just point them to this person or that person or this network or that network. Something clicked eventually and said, well, I have all these people asking me, why don't I just eventually just create my own network, monetize in that sense, and create a whole business model off the network, because I had so many people were asking me for offers. So at that time, that was kind of the play.
It made sense.
It just kind of worked with the...
Pretty much get paid for something you're doing already.
I was doing already, yes. So that's how it started. The reason I got into it with a partner was,
So what did he bring to the table, or what does a partner bring to the table? Because I've seen a lot of people, they have a partner and they, no pun intended, but they smash it, and I guess other people like me, I don't have partners for anything I do because I don't want to give up 50% equity.
That's right.
So what was your thought process in partnering with someone?
My thought process at that time was, I'm very new to the space. I didn't know anything about network tracking, managing affiliates, sending invoices, business development, all these other logistics that came with operating a network. I was just an affiliate marketer. I had a vague idea of being an affiliate marketer, interacting with networks and stuff like that, but I never operated a network myself.
Yeah.
So to be honest, a part of me was nervous, a little scared. So I wanted to have a partner to 50-50 the risk with me and just...
So your partner's skill set, was he different from you? Like, did he bring a different set of skill sets? That's what I'm trying to say.
At that time, looking back now, I wasn't looking for someone with a different skill set. I was just looking for someone who was willing to do something with me in that space or in that venture.
Lower the risk, basically.
Just lower the risk, and like I said, I was a little nervous. I think anybody's a little nervous.
Well, it's a lot of money to float.
And it's a lot of money to float. So having any help or having somebody that's willing to put in the effort with you, I didn't have anything to lose, and it sounded like a good idea at the time. I had obviously some connections in the space as an affiliate marketer and media buyer, so I already had traffic sources, I already had offers and stuff like that. My partner at that time, he was already pretty heavy in the adult space, so he had connections as well, so I figured why not just merge the connections, and he'll bring on people that he knew, and I'll bring on people that I know. And my partner Jay, a lot of people know who Jay is, he had a lot of skill sets in regards to business development, operating business, and doing the business development part of stuff, which I lacked the experience at that time. So I thought that was a good dynamic at the time. And it actually worked out because the network became larger than what I thought initially it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a small private network, couple of friends. But then to grow it to the level that it grew to, I mean, we were doing, we did like over 25 million in annual sales. So that's actually a lot. But I mean, obviously, I can't take credit for that because those are the affiliates that are driving the sales, you know.
Sure.
And obviously, the network works on a small margin. But it's still an amazing thing to see to go from nothing to that level. It's pretty powerful. But
eventually, though, you left it. So I want to know the high level.
Yeah.
Why'd you leave?
So what happened is at first, you know, when you start something new with someone and it gets off the ground and it takes off and it's making money, it's a great thing. Things go good for about a year.
Yep.
You know, everything's perfect. But then at some point in time, you have different views in business.
Sure.
You know, you have a vision of where you're going, and it
also people change over time.
And people change, and it's also where you're at in life. You know, I have a daughter, so you know my views on long term and strategies are a lot different than someone who doesn't have a kid.
Yep.
Geolocations, I'm living in the United States, things are different than someone living, you know, abroad in Thailand. The lifestyle is different. People have different views on business, so
it sounds like it was good at the time, but then you just kind of grew out of it.
That's exactly what it is, Charles. I kind of just grew out of it as an entrepreneur, as a business person. You know, I still have projects on the side. I still have another company that does media buying, like an agency outside of the network at the time. And, you know, it was just, I kind of outgrew it. But when you're doing something with a partner and it's still making money, it's hard to leave and it's hard to let the other partner down because you're like, okay, I'm slacking off and doing stuff.
Plus, you seem like a loyal dude.
And I'm a real loyal person. Like, if me and you did something and we made money, I would rather leave and let you make the money instead of letting the money get in between our friendship because you can always make more money and stuff like that. So ultimately, it really boils down to that. I kind of outgrew the network as a person, as a businessman, an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to do my own.
When did you leave again? So was this last year or?
It's probably been about a year. It's several months now, 8 or 9 months. I publicly announced it that I left, but everyone that I worked with, the affiliates that I worked hand in hand with, I kind of let them know, and I was like, hey, you know, many months prior to that. But then, you know, it took a little building up, a little gut to kind of just put the nail in the coffin and publicly announce, like, hey, I'm out the network. That was kind of a hard thing to do because that's like your little baby.
Yeah.
But, you know, a part of me didn't want to up and leave because I was loyal to my friend, loyal to my partner. I didn't want to ruin any potential business for him or any type of money that he was generating for me leaving because I didn't want to scare everybody off and stuff like that. You know? We could take a little quick take there, but what happened is after I left, people weren't getting paid. I found out that it was a lot more serious than I thought. I contacted my partner and I was like, hey, what's going on? Are people getting paid? And he was kind of like, at that time, I was in less communications with my partner at the time. We would speak like once every couple of weeks, and it would be more of like a, hey, how's it going on Skype? How you doing?
Because once you're out, it's like his company. You want him to...
That's what it is. You know, it's kind of like once I was out,
Well, it's kind of like a relationship. You break up, you can't keep texting your girlfriend anymore.
Day, you know? But, I mean, I still kept in touch. We still kept tapped on each other. So, you know, I didn't really speak to him over the few months that all this stuff was happening. But it turns out after I spoke with him that, you know, payments weren't getting made to affiliates. So it started being a concern to me because... You know, I'm guilty by association, obviously, because I built a brand.
Well, okay. What's going through your mind right now? Like, what are you feeling right now? What were you feeling?
Yeah, and I remember speaking to you during these times, too, as friends, you know, about the shit that I was going through. And, you know, for me, it sucked. Honestly, it really sucked because I worked really hard to build this brand. A lot of the affiliates that were on the network were actually friends of mine, like people that I trained and talked to every single day. There was some type of bond there, you know, to see them not being paid or like just having difficulties on the network that I was previously a part of. It's just kind of like, you know, when I spoke to my partner at the time, it wasn't nice words. It was more like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? You know, like people aren't getting paid. You need to pay people.
So what ended up happening? Why is no one? So when you left, everyone's getting paid, money's in the bank, everything's cool. From the time you left to this happening is only 3 months. That's kind of a short time. How did everything went to, you know, what happened?
Well, I didn't really know the inner details until, you know, Jay posted a huge blog post about this. Some people had the opportunity to read his blog, this huge long post about it.
And they probably read it before you did.
Yeah, they did. A lot of people messaged me and said, "Did you read this post?" And I was like, I didn't read it. I think the site's down now, but for those of you who did get a chance to read it, it was basically what happened was, you know, Jay ended up getting into some different projects and ventures, and he ended up owing a lot of people money. The banks didn't pay him for, you know...
Okay, so you're saying that he invested some money into some different projects.
Yeah.
They didn't work out.
Exactly.
And that's where some of the some of the money went, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much where all the money went. I think he got in a little too deep. He ended up owing a lot of networks money, affiliates money, and the banks weren't paying him out for, I guess, he tried to be an advertiser in the trial space, and I guess it was...
It's tougher than you think, dude. That's just tough.
It was brutal. So he had all these unrealized gains in his mind of thinking, oh, I'm making X amount of money. I can continue this as long as the banks pay out. But those were just unrealized gains. When the banks didn't pay him out, he couldn't, float the cash to cover the networks, the affiliates and stuff like that. So I think he took some money from different things and was trying to, use this money. Hopefully this will come back and pay this back and keep and just juggling stuff and hoping that once they pay him out that everything will be just smooth and cleared, right? But unfortunately, it didn't work out like that.
I got a lot to say about this.
Yeah.
But first of all, this is Jay's not here, so this is not a throw Jay under bus thing.
And it's not. And I just
cool.
want to say this, like, as a person, as a friend, Jay's a really good person, man. Like, he's always been a good person to me. He's never done me wrong or anything like that. It's just he really went all in, and I think he operated from a mindset of being on tilt. It was kind of like, you're playing poker, and you already committed so much.
You're chasing.
But then he got the bad turn and the flop, and
that's
how the cookie crumbles.
And then, second thing is, we're just saying one side. Obviously, Jay has his own side, but he's not here in San Diego. Next thing is, there's something I heard from Mark Cuban that I pay a lot of mind to. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. I think I've seen a lot of guys in this industry, in this space. They got a good thing going. They're making a lot of money, but then they just get too aggressive, and they don't. You gotta properly hedge your bets. You can't go all in, because what I disagree. I admire entrepreneurship, but not when it comes to other people's money. You gotta
That's where I draw the line.
You gotta make sure the affiliates get paid, the partners get paid, and whatever your profit is, let's say 300K. You play with that 300K.
Right.
You don't play with that 1.3 million or however much it was. So that's a lesson right there.
And it's a fatal mistake too, and it really sucks. It was tough to see a lot of big affiliates that were close friends of mine actually take a hit and actually didn't get paid. And I know there's a couple networks that I'm friends with who didn't get paid either. And shitty situation. It really sucks.
Yeah, it's like
I still have it's
still like Icarus, man. You fly too close to the sun. I mean, you gotta spread your wings and fly, but too close, the wings burn off. So my next question is, so you're in a unique position. You've launched an affiliate network. Yeah. So to the affiliates out there, that are thinking about starting an affiliate network, what do you have to say for them? Should they do it? Should they not do it? What can they do to succeed? Because man, there's so many affiliate networks out there. So what do you have to say?
I think if you're an affiliate and you're thinking about creating a network, like Charles says, there's a lot of affiliate networks out there. There's a lot of competition. It's not as easy as you may think it is. There's a lot of business sense that comes with running and operating a network that go far beyond just running ads and stuff like that. There's real business going on. You're playing with other people's businesses.
And there's a lot of risk, man.
There's
it's like you're floating a lot of money. So the way it works is, from my perspective, I've never been an affiliate network before, but affiliates demand to get paid every single week.
That's right.
And some of these advertisers are only paying out every single month.
Right.
So guess what? You're floating a lot of cash, and what happens if this advertiser doesn't pay you? You take the hit. So that 5 or 10% margins
go to shit.
It erases. So people don't realize that.
Because affiliates don't understand that too, and that's why I think there needs to be a little bit more respect for networks, because the networks do a lot of stuff that, a lot of people are like, I should just go direct. Why run with a network? There's benefits to running behind a network.
I view them as a bank. They pay me faster and they hedge risk.
That's what it is. And I mean, for those looking to start a network, do not start one if you're not, if you just don't have a lot of cash flow. It's really cash flow intensive.
How much would you say? Like, we're talking about $250,000, $500,000, $1 million?
I mean, you can start something with $250,000, but at the same time, you're not going to take on a lot of affiliates at that time, and you need to get fast payouts from advertisers. Okay, and obviously, if you're generating any type of profit, that does not get spent. That gets put into the company's account where it grows that nest egg to cover floats, or it covers taxes and stuff like that. You do not just make money and then.
Not only that, but lawsuits can happen anytime. You gotta have the money, the emergency funds, and I think something else is, man, you're starting a network. What's your USP? What's your
Right.
unique selling proposition?
That's
What
right.
separates you from everyone else rather than be another network that just
Right.
brokers from another network that brokers from the AOR,
Yeah.
agency of record.
Yeah.
So you got to bring something to the table. And I think, I never worked with Smash, but I think what attracted some people was you. You would
Yeah.
give advice and shit, right? So that was
I
one
think,
of your
I
USPs.
think that was one. Yeah, that's exactly one of my unique selling points right there. Was that the fact that I actually have experience as a media buyer, actually had experience in the space as an affiliate. I'm still an affiliate now. I have I deal with I have account managers too. It's not just like I'm a network and I don't know anything about the affiliate space. I'm still heavy in the affiliate space. I think that to be successful with a network, you have to bring something like you're saying. And one of those things is, I was able to train people. I was able to give solid advice. I think that attracted a lot of people to me. I think to be successful now, you should be a little bit more of a boutique type network. Instead of being a network that has every damn offer, I think if you just focus in on one thing, like if your network is mobile, you focus on that. If your network is, neutral, focus on that. If your network is adult, focus on that. Be boutique with your network. It may be smaller, but you'll attract the higher quality of affiliates because you'll make a name for yourself. You'll plant a flag in the sand. That's the best way to do it. Start small. This is for the people aspiring to have a network. Okay, like I said, it's not easy. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of low margin. It's a cash flow intensive business. There's a lot of reasons not to start a network, and not everyone should start a network. Okay, it's you're playing with other people's businesses. Only start one if you have the experience, have the connections to make it successful for them.
I think, my advice if you want to start a network, well, for me personally,
Yeah.
I never, ever thought about starting a network. I think it's because I know a lot of network owners, so I kind of see the behind the
stress.
scenes, and man, it's just not worth it. It's like it's just not as much money as you guys think compared to how much work is involved, because running a network is tremendous overhead.
That's right.
Whereas when you're an affiliate marketer, it's just,
Yeah, you don't
for
have to
some of
deal
you
with
guys,
anything.
yeah, well, a lot of guys are in the mom's basement. There's like
Yep.
internet and stuff like that, so there's not a lot of overhead. So just one curious question. So there's a lot of software out there. So what you've probably tested a few of them. Is Cake the best, or what's the best from a advertiser or an affiliate network perspective?
Obviously, the best would be a custom solution because
That costs money. That costs
that's what
money.
it is. I mean, ideally, that would be the best solution because it may cost money up front, but then now you're not paying per click for every month, and now you have the software, you have the framework, and you could send tens of millions of clicks in a day, and it won't cost you anything more than bandwidth. Versus if you're using a platform like Cake or Hat Software, they're going to charge you per million, and those clicks can be excessive, especially with people doing mobile, doing pops and redirects, and sending direct links and stuff like that. So the amount of clicks that you accumulate on a network can be excessive, and if you're paying, $800 per million. That's how some of the rates are. Someone who sends 5-10 million a day, one affiliate in mobile clicks and mobile redirects, that can be excessive in the amount that you're spending for click costs. So
I never thought about that.
You have to have a balance. So I always, as a network owner, always tell people to use a landing page. If your clicks are too excessive, please stop running traffic because.
So
it's
what
costing me
were
money.
you guys using though?
I was using Hat Softwares. I think Hat Softwares is a good system. It's for probably like 85% of the people who are watching this aspiring to have a network or something like that. Hat Softwares will do the trick. Obviously,
Yeah,
Cake.
because you can start at a small scale.
Yes, and you can scale up, and they cover you for several $100. You get 1 million clicks a month. With Cake, obviously, it's going to be a little more advanced platform, but it's going to probably be a little more than you need. Just starting out, and a lot of people still use HitPath and all these other
Don't
ones.
kill an ant with a sledgehammer, guys.
That's right.
Start small, stay lean, MVP that shit. Start small and then scale your way up.
And I promise you that platform will do all the features that you need for as big as you're probably going to scale. I mean, like I said, we scaled a network to 25 million in revenue annually, and that platform works perfectly. And there's a lot of other networks out there that utilize the same platform.
Yeah.
So it's definitely enterprise level.
Okay, so, all right, so enough business talk. We're going to get a little personal now. A lot of people don't know this, but you had a bit of a health issue. Was it last year or was it 2 years ago?
It's been a few years, 2-3 years.
2-3 years. So my question is, I guess what happened and what did you learn from it? What lessons from that can you pass on to people?
Well, I never really talked about it publicly. I spoke to my close friends about that because, it's an intimate thing in regards to your health. And obviously, my life is already online a lot. So, you know, there's a lot of things about my life that I cherish and keep private. And obviously with close friends, I keep them in the loop. Like Charles kind of knows the story. I won't go too deep into it, but I had a huge freak accident thing that kind of gave me this huge health scare that just made me realize that, you know, life's short and you need to play to win. You need to chase your dreams. You need to do what you need to do to achieve what you need to achieve. And quit talking about stuff because life is very short. Time is very short. You know what I mean?
So after that happened, like what changed in yourself?
I think.
Like, did you want to spend more time with family,
yeah,
or
exactly,
what did your how did your priorities change?
Before that huge, you know, health scare or whatever, that thing, the freak accident that happened to me, I was working, you know, 14 hours a day. I was chasing $1. I was running campaigns. I was just pushing, you know, pedal to the metal, trying to make it happen because, you know, when you see your opportunity and you're capturing that opportunity and it's happening in real life right now, you don't want to let your foot off the pedal. You just want to maximize and milk it for as much as you can. So prior to that, you know, I was making a lot of money. I just didn't want to let off the gas. I wanted to elevate and make my income level reach a certain level and be comfortable because that's all I wanted to do all my life. I wanted to just, you know, be wealthy and make money. So now that that opportunity has crossed my path, there's no way in hell I'm going to let it escape, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I worked myself to the bone, neglected, you know, obviously when you work so much, you neglect your own health. You neglect, you know, spending time with your friends and family. You neglect a lot of stuff because you're so focused on making money. After that incident, it kind of made me, it kind of like God stepped in and just really made me sit down. Like he really just intervened and said, you know what, if you're not going to take a time out, I'm going to make you take a time out.
Damn, dude,
kinda,
shit.
You know what I mean? And
shit.
I just sat there and I thought about that and it made me really have perspective and appreciation and gratitude for life and people around me and loved ones. And obviously, whenever you have a serious issue, any type of, you know, incident or anything that involves your health, typically the people that are going to be by your side are your close friends and family. At the end of the day, those are the people that are going to be there for you, or that's going to really be there to tend to you. So it really made me stop for a second. And you know, so now before, I used to go months without seeing my parents. I was too busy. You know, who wants to go, you know, visit their parents, you know, because they're busy making money. But now I visit my mom every Sunday because I know that she's not going to be around forever. So I need to invest my time into the things that matter to me because time is very valuable. So if you spend time with someone, you're investing in a part of your life that you'll never get back. So I want to spend some of that with close family and my parents and my friends. It allowed me to, it really made me think that you need to have a really good balance, okay? You need to have a strong work ethic, but you also need to recover. So you need to work hard, but you need to focus on recovery, which is proper sleep, proper diet, proper health, proper mental health, as in having fun, being social, hanging out with friends, doing stuff that makes your soul come alive.
Yeah, man.
And not just focusing on work, because it's very easy, and you know how it is to get, you know, caught up in work and just dealing with employees and business and thinking about numbers and reaching goals. And
no, man, it's like sometimes, dude, when I see
too much, you know,
when I see someone that's like rich but they're fat, I'm like, dude, what the fuck's what's the point, dude? If you die of a heart attack, you don't get to see your kids.
And remember, health comes before wealth in the dictionary, man. So you have to put health first in life. It does. Do you want to be the guy that's making a lot of money but just physically not capable of enjoying traveling or doing stuff? You don't.
Or you just end up not having like friends and family anymore because they don't know who the hell you are.
Right. So you know that stuff happened to me, and I'm really glad you brought that question up because it really made me think. Okay,
shit, no one else is.
you work to make this money, but what are you doing it for? I hope you're doing it for your family because you know your family and your loved ones deserve to live a higher quality of life. All the things you talk about, all the stuff you work for, they deserve it, man. These are your close friends and family, you know? So work hard, but at the same time take care of your health. It's crucial. I promise you this. No matter how much money you make, the moment something happens to your health, all that shit's out the window. You're not going to even care about making money. You're going to be like, I just want to get better. I just want to, you know, I want to recover.
People that want to find you, where can they find you? Online?
Obviously on Facebook, I'm around. A lot of people on here probably found me on Facebook. I started my own network. It's called V Media Group, VMG. I didn't really talk much about that, but it's my own private network, 100% me now. It's a new venture, and obviously I learned a lot from my last venture, so it's a lot better. Probably Snapchat, man. Snapchat's like a new cool thing.
What's your Snapchat?
It's Tuan.Vy, so Tuan, little period, then Vy. So
this dude likes to walk.
Yeah. So I like to walk and talk, man. I mean, it is what it is, but that's probably the best way to reach out and send a direct snap and stay in touch with me.
Awesome, awesome. And I guess any final words or any final advice for them as far as affiliate marketing or just success in life?
Final words are this, man. Look it, you only got one shot at this. You're either going to dabble around or you're going to take it seriously. I suggest if you're watching this, really take it seriously. There's some people in life that are crushing it, hitting amazing goals and just dominating their dreams. I think that you really need to take this business serious. It is a real business, okay? Don't treat it like a hobby. Actually put in the work. Understand that it's going to take some time before you see success, but it's well worth it, okay? The sacrifice, the discipline, the not hanging out on the weekend to work on your stuff and work on your business is going to pay off in the long run. And I suggest that you just take it really seriously and believe in yourself, because if I can do it, Charles can do it. I think you guys can do it too.